Am I on here? Am I back? Dear God. Am I back in the building, in the space? Am I back? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Am I back into the space? That's what I want to know. Hi, Ebony. Oh, now wait a minute. Now look at it showing up on the screen. Okay, well, this is good. This is good. Y'all better have an update. Well. Let me see something here. I think I'm on Instagram too. I need to. TikTok doesn't want me to be great. So we're going to have to figure out something different when it comes to the clock of tick or the talk of tick. But we're here. I got to update all of this stuff on here. All of this. Because even dear God, where is the I don't like what this banner what does this say? How do I change that? Is it an overlay? No, it's not an overlay. I don't need no background music. It's in style. Whatever, we're here. Greetings. Hi, Kiara. Kiara says, I love this outfit and color combo. Thank you. Oh, let me open up Instagram side by side so I could see those comments. Hey, Joy. You most definitely are back and giving this yellow. Is the yellow giving what's supposed to be gave? That is my collective prayer. My collective prayer is that it's given what is supposed to be gave. Now, I'm back in the building, sweetie. The one and the only. I'm back in the building, and we're going to talk about that. Let me see if this TikTok wants to do the right thing or not. Let me see. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. TikTok doesn't want to do the thing. I don't have any. It's not allowing me to do any sound. Settings. Whatever. All right. So, listen. Heavy on. We took us a break. Y'all, when we talk about this number 9 energy of endings and completions and things, I just did not expect it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to come how it did. I didn't expect it to be as it was. I just didn't expect it. But this year has been affording me a lot of lessons, information, bringing me to awareness of so many things that I just was not prepared for. And I think one of the things that we must all learn to embrace is the power of rest. Rest being as important and necessary as producing, as achieving, as accomplishing, as working. And when you don't make room and space for the appropriate rest, other things happen. I really also didn't understand the complexity of being tired, because it's the same way of how if you are needing to sit down and you refuse to sit down, you will be sat. Same thing when it comes to rest. If you have been going and going and going and you need to rest and you refuse to rest, you will be sat. You'll be rested. And so I think, y'all, I have been away. I brought it into the Lighthouse platform because there is a new era that we are in. And I think the Lighthouse served its purpose. And there's an evolution here. And I'll also say this. I give myself the permission to be constantly evolving. I give myself permission to be evolving in front of people. I give myself permission to not know. I give myself permission to find out as I go. But I also know that my name is enough, right? My name is enough. And it is when we try to box ourselves in and only angle ourselves in certain ways that we run into more walls and more stumbling blocks and obstacles. And so, yeah, I think that I went away because I needed to recalibrate. I needed to recharge. I just needed to. And it had nothing to do with any drama or any mess. It had to do with a private calling and a private conversation with me and the divine. And that caused me to move into a sabbatical, not just with the platforms, but with people in my life. And I also understand that people don't take things well. And I didn't take the things well, but what I do know is if I didn't know anything else, I got to move and do the things I need to do when the spirit brings it to my attention to do it. This is just the facts. Okay? And so we don't just get tired, we get drained, we get disoriented, and unfortunately, ultimately, there will be a disconnection. And so I had to really come back to myself. I had to figure out myself. I had to realign myself because there were things that I was calling aspects of myself that weren't accurate. Like I found myself in a habit of exactly sabbatical. Exactly. I found myself throughout my life thinking that I was like someone who didn't finish things, didn't complete things. I would start things, I would stop things. I would do this, and then suddenly I wouldn't want to do it anymore. I say suddenly, but I would end up not wanting to do it anymore or do things a certain way. But what I was not understanding was it didn't have anything to do with that. It had everything to do with my rhythm, finding my rhythm. So yeah, I'm just here to talk about that, to chat with y'all, to bring myself back into this space. Ah, God, I haven't even been looking at the Instagram. Yeah, to bring myself back into this space. And now I'm here. Now I'm here. Someone said, oh, no. Yeah. So I thought that was a comment. So I don't even know if I want to call it a break as much as it was a sacred pause. You got to have a sacred pause. You got to. Everything that moves stops and takes time to recharge. Vehicle, you're going to have to stop and get gas. You're going to have to do maintenance. Right? Your phone, your technology, you're going to have to stop and charge it. And it needs that charging time. And I think as a people, thank you, Kiara. I'm very glad too. And then so much was discovered. I think I got so much clearer. A whole system of divine calculation was birthed, and I'm grateful for that. And so I encourage you all to do the same. Just take a pause. Take a sacred pause. And those that get it, get it. Those that don't get it, don't get it. And that's just it. So I think as a people, particularly as Black people, we don't understand. Ancestor School of Excellence asks, what's the deal with all the car accidents these days? Well, we have that number 9 universal year. That number 9 universal year is hot-tempered. It is also chaotic. And so when you have that 9 like that, that 9 also makes things more prone to accidents because of that chaos. So that's why freak accidents. 9 is also connected to fires. 9 is also connected to weather. You have Oya, which is why we've had all of these catastrophic floods going on, in particular in the 7th month of July. That 7 is connected to ocean, to water, to rivers. And so you have accidents occurring connected to that. Unfortunately, we had drownings in that 7 month. Just a lot of energy. But that's just the energy of the universe at the time. Right? And so unnatural weather patterns, like what is going on with all of this rain and all of these things? It's that 9 energy. That's what it is. And so what does that mean? You need to do what you can to counteract that and make sure that you stay on the right side of those numbers. As to say, if you know that this 9 year brings chaos while driving, why are you on your phone? Right? Pivot that. Why are you speeding? You see what I'm saying? And so we take this information and we make adjustments therein. But I think as Black people, we're conditioned to just work and do. I think growing up, you lazy, you not producing anything. But I believe that we were created to be, not just to do. I'm a human, not a machine. Even though we all can do great, wonderful, marvelous things, I am a person, and a person has to take a second or two to gather themselves to rest. And I believe that rest is not optional. I believe that rest is sacred, and I don't think that we take enough time to invest in our rest. Because we live in a hustle excellence culture, a grind culture that glorifies you being burnt out, that glorifies the respectability politic of excellence. But I'm back now, Ebony. You glorify burnout and you call burnout ambition. You glorify burnout and you call burnout ambition. Hey, Jeremy. And that's the trick bag. That's the trick. You know, I no longer wish to work you I no longer wish to work to the bone. Not only glorifies you being burnt out, but don't even give you anything back for it. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Slavery, which this country is built off of. And we'll talk about all of that. Hey, Tessa. Tessa, the kid is back. It absolutely was implanted by the colonizer. Let's understand this. There's a system that I developed, which I've been making videos and stuff about. And I colloquially and very blackly call it the numbers. NUMBAS. And a part of this number system, which is what we're going to be guided by. Most of my content will be guided by this. And also, y'all will be very pleased to find this out. Hold on. Give me one second. One second. To this. Oh. Come on now. What is it? Boom. Y'all will be very, very pleased about this. How do I share my screen? We haven't been on here in a long time. Honey. We have a whole new Patreon. Whole new space. Clearer intention. Clearer intention. I'll say that. So if you would like to join, that is available. It is not the Lighthouse. It's just under my name, but we're going to be diving into all of the things and working through that system and being able to actually plan and calculate this life here. But we'll talk about that another time. So if you would like to join the Patreon, you can. It's $7.77. And you can be on there. So that space has started back up. So I just had to share that. Back to this point. This year, a part of the number system, we all have a sacred count. This number system is a system of divination that I have created, all in my time to myself. See that? And that's why we have to stick to that. I have not found, and I need y'all to hear me good. I have practiced several forms of divinatory practices. I have also studied under several different African traditional religions. And I have not found a system that I have resonated with, believed in more, or practiced more than the numbers. So that's all I'll say on that matter for now. Going forward, the sacred count of America is 7, 4, 3, and 5. The birth gate, your birth gate number is your entrance, right? How you came into this world. Lord, let me say something. The Black folks didn't waste no time. Kiara didn't waste no time. Okay. It's your entrance into the world. It's what colors you, right? How you are first perceived. So America is of that 7. That 7 has to do with a seeker of knowledge, right? Has to do with the energy of enlightenment, has to do with that of the hermit. It is highly spiritual, but there is an underbelly of that 7. The underbelly of that 7 is also secrets. It is also hiding. It is also illusion. It is also improper use of spirituality. Yeah, that's connected to that 7. The soul nature number for America is 4. That is the day that it was established. I'm specifically going off of the regime that is America, not from an indigenous space, but from the energy that a thing began with, right? Not necessarily the truth of it, but where it began. And we know the spirit and the energy of America that we are experiencing didn't have nothing to do with the indigenous folks. It had everything to do with those that came in to conquer and colonize going forward. So that soul nature has to do with the core identity, has to do with the motivating factors, had to do with what the skill set is. So you know what's connected to that 4? Land, labor, being methodical, being economical, heavy on the labor, heavy on the hard work, heavy on the structures, heavy on the systems. All of that right there is connected to that. Okay. Janae, hello. My condolences, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. And that's another thing. There's so much that has happened. I appreciate that. So that's 4. And so the negative of that 4 energy, if you take something that is systemic, that is orderly, that is a hard worker, and you pervert that energy, what does hard work turn into? Slavery. You see that? What does boundaries turn into? Walls, restrictions, right? Systems, right? Being orderly, that turns into systemic oppression. So all of that is in the nature of America. So what we don't understand is that by supporting the grind and hustle culture without supporting the rest and recovery culture is us acting in the energy of the oppressor and of the spirit of oppression. That's the truth. The ancestral current number of America is 3. This is the ancestors that have come through. This is the energy of the ancestors. This is the lineage of people that America has come from, and also what is present spiritually as far as what their ancestors want them to do. 3 is the number of communication. It's connected to media. It's connected to the messenger. 5 is also connected to that as well. But 3 is creative. 3 has to do with gossip. 3 has to do with expression, self-expression. But when we pervert that, 3 is also propaganda. 3 is also spinning the narrative. 3 is also marketing, right? 3 is also conspiracy, conspiring, right? So the lineage of the people that colonized this country were the loud liars, the narrative spinners, the story switchers, the fast talkers. That's the lineage. How do we know that's true? This is a country ran on its media, ran on the narratives. Narratives could get you killed. Narratives could get you, make you lose your job. And it is in the energy of the country. That's just it. It is also the reason why most artists, most celebrities and things that have that number 3 are very successful in this country. Okay? Because they align with that energy. Okay? So that's that with that number. Professional manipulators, devil energy, just lying for sure. Right? And then we could look at the divine mission of America is 5. It's the number 5. And what I need you to hear this, right? This number 5 energy, the divine mission is what you're going to become. This is the direction that the divine sent for you to go. 5 is the number of freedom. 5 is the number of agility, of versatility. 5 is connected to diversity. 5 is connected to change, rapid movement, development. So regardless of what they're trying to do, it's never going to thwart what is the divine mission of the country. The divine mission of the country is to be a fully diverse, fully agile, fully open, moving, accepting of change, accepting of differences. That's what the nation is supposed to be. So those that choose to go against that design will be eradicated eventually, which is the reason why you see the patriarchy and these people being so pissed and working against that. And this is also why you see them losing. And this is what I need you to know. There is a difference with that number 3. Remember that number 3 is a trickster. That number 3 is a marketer, is a propagandist, is a narrative spinner, is an illusionist. So they are doing things to make it appear as though those of us for the wellness and for the light are losing. It's a trick bag. So are number spirits as well. Absolutely. And that's a part of my number system. They're spirits as well. Okay? Absolutely. So they're going to spin the narrative. They're going to give the illusion. They're going to control the media. They're going to do this in a way that's going to target you. But guess why it works? It works because this country, the founding energy of this country, the foundational energy of this country is that ancestral current of 3. That's why it works. That's why it is so hard. Even back in the day before social media, you couldn't be successful in business or anything without word of mouth. I do, Ebony. Yes, I do. But even when you look at traditional cartomancy, it'll say those numbers still align that way. You got to have word of mouth. Now, because the evolution of that 3 is now social media, that's why social media is so powerful. And everyone that wants to stay off of social media, don't want to learn nothing about social media, and unfortunately, that don't want to learn about AI, don't want to learn about technology, you will be left in the past because this is the foundation of the country. You got to learn about it. You got to understand how to operate within it. You got to understand how to use it. You just do. If you are not with the future, you're going to be left in the past. That's just it. That's just where we are. And so that is also the reason, and I made a video about this explaining, because America's ancestral current is 3, the loud liars. I also did the I did the numbers for the Trump administration. The divine mission is 3. Meaning the Trump administration is in direct alignment with the loud liars, narrative spinning ancestors of this country. So I need us to understand this and get this good. The reason why this Trump administration and these maggots are able to operate and they're crazed, there's no logic, is because it's a spirit. It's an energy of their ancestors. Go ahead and get your tinfoil hat on now. It's the energy of their ancestors. We Black folks, we only be thinking about our ancestors. We don't be thinking about their ancestors. We don't think about their ancestors. And how can I prove this? What is the Trump administration? What's the number one slogan? Tell me, what is their slogan? They have it on all the red hats. What's their slogan? Make America great again. Why would the people of the present be wanting something to go and become what it was of the past? It's because it's their ancestors. Make America great again is an energetic signaling to conjure them up. Make America great again is ancestral veneration. That's why they're wearing it on their hats. They're wearing it on their t-shirts. They're adorning it. It is ancestral veneration for those old, rugged, patriarchal ancestors. And so that's why it feels so strong. That's why they're not thinking. Possessed people don't think. When you are under the influence of a spirit, under the influence of an energy. Hey, Claude. Hi, friend. When you're under the spirit, the influence, of an energy, your body and your brain is not functioning. And that's the gag, Ancestral School of Excellence. What these people are not understanding is these these people are honoring their ancestors. They're venerating their ancestors, but you don't even understand the assignment to get into the church and tell everybody, convince everybody that your ancestors are dead. That your ancestors are demons. And they don't even understand that they are not the evangelist for God, but the evangelist for the patriarchy. You are trying to encourage Black people to not honor our ancestors and not connect with our ancestors. Meanwhile, they are constantly in veneration of theirs. Every day, every hashtag, every post, every t-shirt, every hat, constantly. That's what that is. The marketing is the ancestral current of this country. And so even in Ephesians, we wrestle not flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities in high places. Where is the high place? You don't understand that the high place is up their family tree. That's what we're battling. Y'all trying to shake rocks and blow smoke on Donald Trump. You need to be doing a cord cutting ceremony to sever them from the influence of their ancestors, because they're the ones pushing it. They're the spirits, the energy behind it. Don't work them, work their source. So that's what's happening. And I just made a video. I posted it on my Instagram and I put it on my TikTok as well. I just made a video talking about chess, not checkers. Clock that. All your prayers, stop praying against the administration, because what you're doing, you are shooting at a shield. You're shooting at a dummy. Okay, so that's the strategy. Stop poking pins in a Donald Trump doll and work in the spiritual. Okay? Let the people who work in the physical, the legal stuff, they're doing that thing. But the spiritualists, I want us to shift. If you're going to be one that's entering as a warrior, war against their energies that are supporting them, not them. Because a spirit can find a different vessel. War against the energy supporting. And while you're severing that energy from them, sever it from you. And in the ways that you are under the influence of an old god, of an old empire. They want to talk so much about we in the matrix. No, you're in the patrix. The matrix is the divine womb of the mother. No, you're in the patrix. The numerology of father is 4. We are in a perverse matrix, a perverse patrix. We are in a perverse code of that 4 energy. We got to defeat that. So you got to venerate your ancestors. Now that's going to be my next video. The worst strategy and the strongest effort that the spirit of white supremacy, the spirit of supremacy, period, of evil, we would say that damn devil has taken, is to get into the ears of the church, into the walls of the church, into the ears of the church, and on the mouths of these pastors, and cause you to condemn your ancestors and call them demons. But do you hear? I need y'all to track this. Track it, track it, track it. The pastors are the mouthpieces of the spiritual community in the Black community. They are the mouthpieces. 3, if you use the mouthpieces of the community to send out a message and a signal, it's effective. Y'all, are we tracking that 3 energy? So that's why we need artists like Beyonce who constantly venerate their ancestors in things that are unerasable. You'll never be able to erase Cowboy Carter or Renaissance. You'll never be able to erase Black is King. It's everywhere. We need more artists who are willing to do that. And you too must be willing to do that in your home, in your family, in your friend circle, and how you show up. They have tricked us to believe that we are a forgetful and forgotten people, and we are nothing of the sort. And so with these numbers, we can calculate everything, anything. I have created systems to understand your divine design. There's an entire divination that breaks down what your birth, those 4 things that I talked about. Even we could even look at, we can use your numbers and identify how you get well from illness, which is all accurate. How you best feed your spiritual abilities, the abilities that you have, the strength of them. All of that. Your wealth codes, the types of workings that you need to do that you are best with. Listen, it's a whole situation here. So I got that Patreon. I started the Patreon up because we're doing a new thing. I've had to work with a lot of my Bible thumping. I'm not saying Bible thumping, but a lot of my Christian clients. So there is a scripture. Scriptures are on my tongue. Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Okay. See, I am doing a new thing. So yeah. Anyways, go ahead and drop that down. So yeah, that's what we got. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Oh yeah, what I was talking about. So you gotta rest. This takes me all the way back. You have to rest. Rest is, as Kiara said, revolutionary. Rest is not luxury. Rest is necessary for war. Rest is necessary for wellness. You're not going to be able to make it without it. Hey, E-Wellness. I'm back, sweetie, in full effect. You're not going to be able to make it without it. We were not designed to just be on the move. The spirit requires you to rest. Because when you rest and you recalibrate, and I'm only saying this because I'm actively living it. This was just me these past couple of months. It brings you back into alignment with yourself and with God and with the source and with the spirit and the great whatever. Whatever you call it, the great whatever. That's hilarious. So now it's going into the great somewhere, and now we have the great whatever. That's the new language. TGW, the great whatever, whatever it is. But when you rest, you remember who you are. You hear the voice, the still voice, the soft voice that is underneath all of that noise. So the rest is a requirement. Rest is sacred. Rest is something to be prioritized. Rest is something to be protected. Rest is as important as your prayers. Rest is as important as your divinations. Rest is as important as your holy books. Rest is as important as your work. Rest is equally important. The lack of rest is to be in opposition to your design. And I'm tired of being in opposition. Me personally, I'm tired. And have you noticed that the best ideas come when you're not doing something? The best ideas come when you're in the shower, when you're in the tub, when you're laying down, when you're on a walk, when you're sitting still. And dare I say, that's not a coincidence, y'all. That is because when we're resting, we're finally giving our spirit room to speak. We praying for the answer. We shaking rocks, blowing smoke for the insight, for the direction, but we don't even make enough room to receive it. So rest is the room that we give spirit to move. Y'all better write that down. That's why dreams are one of the most common communications of the spirit. Rest clears the static and gets the signal strong. And in times such as this, times such as 2025, times such as dealing with a Trump regime, times such as this, the world might reward The loudest voice. That's that 3. But the Spirit moves in the whispers. And the whispers requires silence. And they require stillness. And they require rest. Amen says, I've been getting good ideas when I'm about to fall asleep. Then I wake up and forget. Listen, that's why you got to have that voice recorder strong. I got so many voice memos. I go there, click that voice memo, record it, and then go to sleep. Yeah. So we got to understand that with rest. And also, I also understand this too. Always pouring out and not receiving, that is you being self-sacrificial. And if you are a Christian, Jesus already paid the price. Okay, if you're not and you're just spiritual, your ancestors have already lived and died. The sacrifice is already there. I reject the fact that we have to be sacrificial. That's also a colonized proverb that we have inherited and been operating with. Because overgiving is not being loving. Try to sail with a hole in your ship and see how far you get. And clock this. If you are always the source and not the recipient, your service becomes suffering. I think the greatest act of love sometimes is rest. So we gotta understand rest. We gotta value rest. And that's what I have been doing. And in that rest, we also recharge. That's where we get all our good old power back. Hold up. What's this, child? Yeah. And so rest for sure. And then also understanding our own rhythm, because we got a tempo. We got the upbeat and the downbeat, but everybody's rhythm is not the same. It's important to find your personal rhythm. First, you got to ask yourself, what type of season are you in? Well, that's one of the things you got to ask yourself. Because everybody got it. Some people thrive in the morning time. Others come alive at nighttime. Some folks need solitude to bloom. Other people need community so they can breathe. But you got a sacred rhythm, and you got to figure out what that is. I have learned about myself, and I learned this from the numbers. Don't worry, we're going to be doing all these types of readings and stuff so everybody can get clear on what their rhythm is. My divine mission number is a 7. And based on all of the numbers that I have, a major aspect, excuse me, a major aspect of my rhythm is to I'm like the ocean. You know how the ocean surges forward, surges all this energy forward, all these waves forward, and then what does it do? Draw it all back. And if I just surge and surge and surge and surge and surge, then what? That's how you have a tsunami. That's how you feel overworked and underpaid. Okay? Yeah. And understand that, man, when I tell you, I have miscategorized so much stuff because I didn't understand what my design was. And that's exactly what the numbers have helped me to do. And you know, the other thing that I love with that, oh God, I keep missing out on my Instagram. Hi, hey, I'm so sorry. It's just the clicking back and forth. I'll be missing y'all's comments. And let me tell you this. I said this a little bit earlier, but we got to recognize what season that we're in. Am I in the sowing season where I'm planting the seeds, I'm laying the groundwork, I'm doing the unseen? Because sometimes you're in the sowing season, sometimes you're not seeing no results because you're sowing. This is the time of the unseen. Are you in a reaping season where you're harvesting the blessings of the works that you've already put in? Are you in a resting season where you laying low, you're recovering, you're letting spirit do the arranging? And I've also fallen victim because this country is so charged to that hustle culture, where I have let urgency trick me out of divine timing. Don't let urgency trick you out of divine timing. The world is going to try to push you. The world is going to try to rush you. The world is going to try to pressure you. Urgency will lie to you. Urgency will tell you that you are behind. Urgency will tell you that you need to hurry up and you need to move faster. Urgency will tell you that you're missing your opportunity, you're missing your chance, but divine timing don't work based on the world. Divine timing works based on the design. Imagine you think and believe so much that I'm not seeing nothing. I got to move. I got to keep on moving. I got to keep doing this. What is yours cannot pass you up. Running out of time. I made a video about this. What is for me cannot leave without me. Hold on. What is for me cannot leave without me. So you got to trust the rhythm. And you're only needing to move according to the spirit's rhythm, not according to the world. It's the look at the world. Why would you listen to the world? Do you see the condition of the world? Why would we listen to the world? We don't need to listen to the world. And dare I say, even with all the works and the struggles of our ancestors knew the value of the rhythm. They knew the sunrise, they knew the sunset, they knew the full moon, the new moon, the Sabbath rest, the Sunday soul food. They knew that's the morning time. Why you so loud, hush in the morning? They knew that the evening time, the hum of the evening time. They knew that there was a beat to the drum. They knew that there was a pulse to the prayer. They just didn't call that self-care. They knew that this is the time of year you cook this food. You don't cook this food in the summertime. We crossing over what is about October. All right, take all your winter clothes and put them in the back. They understand the rhythm. They understand the nature. Because we came from a people who watched the skies. They looked up and saw what the clouds was doing and listened to the weather. We come from people who honor seasons, who move when the spirit said move. The rhythm was not based on productivity. It was based on alignment. And if we are going to be doing anything and honoring anything, it should at least be that. At the least be that. So I'm embracing that rest. I'm embracing that rhythm. I'm doing those things. I'm not finna play with y'all. Y'all not gonna kill me. You're not gonna run me into the ground. And so we're in the month of August. If you choose to be a part of the Patreon, I know Kiara's in there from this live. I just posted the numbers reading for August. Let's see. Go ahead and see. Can I share this tab? Yes, yes, yes. And so you would get this good old PDF, and we get into that reading there for the month, so we know how to align ourselves. Couple of things real quick. A always brings ego issues. So please check your ego this month. Please check your ego. Yeah. Check your ego. Let's pay attention also to power and control. Authority figure is going to be real amped up and or coming to a collapse because we're in that number 9 universal year. And I'll tell you what, 8 is also very showy. That's why I talked about what did I miss the link? If you go to my bio, I have it on my bio site. Maybe I can drop it here. Hold on, let me see. I think I can drop it here. Share your referral link. Where am I supposed to share that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't know if y'all be able to click that, but it should be in my Did I put a description on this video? Yeah, if you click the bio site link, same way that you would try to go and book, it should take you to this. And then this will take you to the Patreon. Yeah. Oh. It works. Uh-huh. Oh, it does work. Okay, good. I had no clue. Yeah. And and also with this good old government, listen. Oh, it does work. I can't comment it and it worked. Oh, look at that. Well, that's good. Y'all know I ain't been on here. They done updated so much stuff. Okay, but we're going to get into the things. So I will tell you, I am much more clearer now in what my purpose is, what my destiny is. I'm clearer in what my gifts are, what I'm able to offer. So this community is going to be different. I know we had our light bulbs and everything, but we switching to the numbers. So I'm going to tell you to drop a digit when you come in here. Okay. We're going to be having full breakdowns, understanding the numbers, getting clear, knowing how we need to navigate. When you register for the Patreon, you'll be called, you will see you have the sevens. Okay? The seven. Seven is the number of the analyst. Seven is the number of the hermit, of the seeker of spirituality. Seven is the number of those that dive deep into the truth. And also, I think it's important for us to learn these numbers so we could live an aligned life. Let me tell you something. I'm so grateful. I always love math. And guess what, Kiera? I've always hated math. But here's what I learned. Everything that I do, if I can't see the higher meaning to it, I'm not interested in it. And it doesn't resonate, it doesn't work with me. So my intention for this group is to be able to provide. Thank you. Oh, it's an experience. Honey. It goes all the way down to like the middle of my calf. It's an experience. The intention of that number of that Patreon is to keep us ahead politically. So we know what's going on and we know how to pivot. The intention of it is we're going to be decoding all of the stuff, some stuff that I don't feel comfortable decoding on the public live. We're going to be decoding all of that stuff. We're going to be getting to it and getting the Carfax. Because here's what I didn't have before. The receipts. The receipts. But let me tell you, there are things that I have calculated and then I've read on it. Asked the spirit, pulled cards. Everything that came out was in alignment with the numbers. And that's what gagged me. Now with my clients, I now my services are completely different. But one of the things that we're able to do with the numbers is to go year by year in your life. I went all the way back with one of my clients, and every year was on point with what was happening. Clock this. If we're able to look at every year in the past, that means we're able to look at every year in the future. So we're going to be deconstructing this administration and plotting everything out them motherfuckers is going to do. We're plotting it all out. All of it. Everything them mother. We plotting it all out. And we will know how to pivot, how to redirect it, how to thrive it. We plotting everything out. Everything. We're also going to be covering big events. Like y'all, I did the numerology for 9/11. And we'll save that for the Patreon. Damn, y'all. I did the numbers on Malcolm X, on Martin Luther King, we can run the numbers surrounding deaths and what the energy was, what the accuracy was. We can run the numbers on any and everything. And that's what we're going to do. Because we tired, we're going to be able to calculate the things, bring the receipts. So you caught us off guard before, but you'll never be able to catch us off guard again. I just did the video talking about what August is going to be like for the Trump administration. I said, did y'all see that video on TikTok and on my Instagram? I spoke about the Trump fall, his fall being a setup, and how this is going to be a month of production and performance. Please hold. And illusions. Suddenly. Please hold. The White House announces, excuse me, the construction of a ballroom. Honey. Increasing the capacity from 200 to 650 people. This space is literally going to be a room for events and performance. This was announced right transitioning. I posted that video on the 30th, the next day, in the shadow period of this 8th energy. On a date that rings 7-4, which is in direct alignment with America's sacred number, a sacred count. Mm-hmm. It's a trick bag. Presidents in modern era have faced challenges hosting major events at the White House, because it has been untouched since President Harry Truman. It's all a trick bag. All of it. Just look at the news. Now he's going after Charlemagne the God. All these performance. Everything. And so we're gonna be clocking it. And it ain't no games to be played. And we're just a couple of days in, a 3-day, number 3 day. So pay attention to what they release in the media today. That's their ancestral current, getting in the media, spinning narratives. What narratives are they spinning today? And so we get into it, y'all. But I just wanted to come back on here, tell y'all that I'm not dead, that I'm yet alive. I'm yet alive and well. Okay, I'm alive and well. And I'm clearer, better now. I took us a break. And now we finna get into the things. So get on that Patreon, because we're unpacking all the things. I love y'all. Be well and do well until I see you again. Hit that Patreon link. If you look at the services and you want to get one of those things so you can get all your numbers figured out, so you can get clear about how you need to move through this here life of yours, do that there. Do that there. Okay? Love y'all. Talk to you all later. I need to create a new intro and a new exit, but this is what I got for now. Peace, everybody.